So what is up, my fellow paint slayers? I thought today, instead of doing a regular old pour, I would take all that color you just saw me mix in the last episode and paint something impressionistically on this 8x10 canvas, which, just so you know, is incredibly painful for me as a photorealist to do this. But Miss K is making me stretch and expand my abilities, so I'm working on loosening up my strokes. So I've got a big giant flat, no, it's not a flat, it's a bright. I got a big giant Robert Simmons titanium professional bright brush, and I am going to attempt to lay in some cacti impressionistically and not screw it up and not overwork it. It's gonna be a real challenge, and I'm not gonna lie, this painting kind of turns out like poop, but you know, the struggle is real, peeps. The struggle is real, and it's really hard for me to not overwork things after all the other training I've had. Oh, look at that other camera angle there, Saress. Nice job. Now, I don't know, rather than give you guys a play-by-play, because I really don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is what I should have done or not what I should have done. I'm just trying to get my composition laid in there.
Are you struggling?
Well, the struggle is real with this, but, you know, first of all, these are colors. Green is my arch nemesis. It's not my favorite color to work with at all. And I have to make sure that these cactus are flat. They still have to have a shadow, they still have to have a highlight, and they still have to have a bit of reflective light. The top little bud canvases still have to be planted and sit down into the cactus paddle, and I can only do this with so many strokes, which is unnerving to me, because usually you paint it and then you paint it some more and then you paint it some more and then you go over it with smaller brushes, and every layer you just use smaller brushes with the other style. So this is a real challenge for me. Right now it looks like a cartoon, Saress. And the cameras, there we go. I'm glad you switched back, because now you can at least see. So I'm just adding in those little flowers on the top, because I know we've got some little buddies coming up there. And you see that there's a shadow underneath those? So they already look like they're sitting down into it. Wow, this is really rough. It's kind of cool though. And I just keep loosely working all of that color in the background, just layer upon layer, trying to figure out where I'm going with this, because I really don't have a reference with what I'm doing. Kayla sent the picture of the cactus, so I kind of have that, but I had to, you know, in order to paint it, you've got to change it a bit, so. And Kay is challenging me to do these little whips, you know, in an hour or two, and not let myself overwork it and just move on. Even if it's not right, you just move on. The goal in this is every single painting that you do, guys, is not going to turn out to be solid gold. I mean, that's just the reality of it. While you're trying new techniques or new products or new ideas, there's always a bit of a learning curve in what you're doing in order to figure it out. And then, you know, the goal is to be able to produce a few really great pieces out of all the things you've learned. So this is a brand new color palette for me and a brand new technique that I am very unfamiliar and very uncomfortable with, but it's really important to stretch yourself a bit and be uncomfortable. Looks like Chase was trying to give me some pointers there.
Yep. Always being supportive.
Just gonna sit here and drink my coffee and watch myself paint. It's kind of a weird experience, actually. Y'all, if we make some money at our live event, this would be a great time to remind you that our live event is August 4th from noon central to whenever we decide to quit. And it should be a lot of fun. We're gonna paint, we're gonna sell some art, whatever. We also have something new. The new merch should be in today, so you'll be able to see some of the new merch if you guys want to order new merch. I think we've got a little better price on it now. Anyway, and all that other stuff. There's just a ton of things going on, but as soon as we can, we're gonna get some mounts for the table so that you guys can see overhead what I'm painting. It's very odd for me, first of all, to paint flat on a table, but I think it's the easiest way to show you what I'm doing. But we need some bendy arm mounts for some little bit different angles. See, here I thought if I picked up the palette knife, it would keep me from overworking things. Right now we just have basically the underpainting of all of that. See, that green's way too intense. See, it comes way forward. There, I killed it. I spent 4 years trying to master how to make things curve, and now I have to make these flat. It's kind of a crazy thing. I've never painted a cactus before, ever, so. And it doesn't matter what style you paint things, the rules of color and composition still apply. You see, as I develop the cactus pads or paddles, then I have to go back and kind of adjust my background a bit. Had to take some time to let some stuff dry there. See, now I'm going straight in with some of that more intense color to kind of start bringing some of that stuff forward. Let me know in the comments, you guys, if this is helpful to you. And if you have a color palette you're having trouble with, by all means, send me that color palette, because we like the requests. It makes it a lot easier to figure out programming for y'all. Now, when I sent Miss K a picture of this, she said the pink that I just put in those paddles was way wrong. So, it's not looking too shabby, but those pink streaks are terrible in that. They are terrible in that. Sometimes you need to walk away from a painting too and let it sit for a few days and then come back. Because you have a tendency, well, I have a tendency, oh, see, look at that. One stroke and I just added, I made it curve and I made it have a shadow color. Sometimes I do know what I'm doing. Anyway, sometimes you do need to walk away from a painting that's not finished. Because if you don't, you'll overwork it. That color's too intense. I'm gonna have to cover that up. When you squint your eyes, you see it just comes way in front of everything else. And it can't do that because that shadow is below your main subject. So See, I'm starting to sit it back down again. And again, don't judge me too harshly because I have never painted this like this before, so. I'm not sure I like this camera angle. We're gonna have to get those bendy doohickeys so that we can see what we're doing more so. That was some more of that Naples yellow light. It's not terrible, it's just not a very good painting. That pink that's streaked across that paddle I'm working on right now is so wrong. No wonder Kate flipped out when she saw it. Cover it up, Rio. Cover up the pink. Oh, I'm just not gonna do it.
I feel like you should probably be editing these so that you can cut out the parts that don't need to be in there, because I don't know what needs to be there and what doesn't need to be there.
As far as this goes, I think it's kind of important that they see the whole process, because everyone looks at my art and assumes that I'm just like, oh yeah, I just wiggle my nose and make it all happen. I still have to work myself through a painting just like everybody else, especially if it's something I've never painted before. I just can't be, I'm not that artist that paints the exact same thing over and over and over again. It makes me crazy. So I have daily struggles with all of this. Where'd we go? Oh, there we're back. Those shadow lines in the very dark bottom paddles are wrong. They're too intense. They're the right value, but they're too intense. Oh, straight out of the tube. Ooh, okay, see, now I'm starting to pop up those flowers there. See how that kind of brought them forward? And in all reality, that pink that I'm putting on there could very well, ooh, get rid of that, Rio. What the hell are you thinking? I'm really not used to something going so quickly. But what I was saying before is that in all reality, I think it's kind of important that you see the whole process of me changing things back and forth, trying to figure it out. Because that's really what it's like in my studio. I know, I guess some artists just know exactly what to do and when to do it, but I am not that girl. I have to really work through all of this to get a painting to do what I want it to do. Because half the time I'm not 100% sure I even know what I want it to look like. Chase, why does your hard drive gurgle at me?
It likes you.
Oh, is that what it is? That pink, I gotta quit adding that pink into there. I don't know why I keep adding pink. It needs to be some more greenish yellow. But do you see that I'm at least not mixing and mixing and mixing? I'm putting it on and then I'm just leaving it, maybe smudging the edge just a touch. When you're painting impressionistically, that's what you're supposed to be doing. At least that's what I've been told in the training I've been taking recently. I also squint my eyes. Sometimes I take my contacts out too and look at a subject matter, because that helps me see it better for impressionism. Alright, Kayla, I hope that helped. I hope you guys enjoyed me struggling through my very first impressionistic painting and not allowing myself to even so much as draw out the subject matter and not blend anything and fumble my way through it. And so I am gonna let this dry because it's really wet. It needs to set up for a little while, and then I'll add a few more things to it and see if I can get it to look a little better. But like I said, it's my very first impressionistic painting, and there's some other things you can do with this paint besides just pours. So with that being said, thanks for joining us in the studio. Until next time, ciao!